Mrs. Mallard receives news that her husband has died in a railroad disaster. Because she has a heart condition, her family tries to share the news carefully. She cries immediately, but the story does not stop at grief. Alone in her room, she begins to notice the world outside her window and a future she had not allowed herself to imagine. Josephine, Mrs. Mallard's sister, speaks in broken and cautious phrases. Richards, the friend of Brently Mallard, has confirmed the report before bringing it to the family. Everyone expects the news to destroy Mrs. Mallard. Their concern is sincere, but they can see only one possible reaction: a wife mourning the loss of her husband. Mrs. Mallard leaves the people around her and enters her room alone. Her body feels exhausted, and her emotions come in waves. Josephine waits outside the closed door, afraid that the shock may harm her sister. Inside, however, Mrs. Mallard is not simply collapsing. She is moving through grief toward a feeling that no one else in the house expects. From her chair, Mrs. Mallard looks through an open window. She sees moving trees, fresh rain, distant sounds, birds, and patches of blue sky between the clouds. These details make the outside world feel alive and full of possibility. The window becomes a symbol of change. Beyond the room is a future that seems to be opening before her. At first, Mrs. Mallard resists the new emotion approaching her. Then she begins to understand it as freedom. She imagines years that will belong to her decisions, her time, and her own sense of self. The story does not deny that she loved her husband sometimes. It shows that love and a desire for independence can exist together in complicated ways. After spending a short but transformative hour alone, Mrs. Mallard opens the door. Her sister sees energy and triumph in her face, but she does not understand what has happened inside the room. Mrs. Mallard moves downstairs carrying a private vision of the future. The people around her still believe they know what she is feeling, while the reader knows more. Brently Mallard enters the house alive. He has been away from the accident and does not know that his family received a false report. Richards tries to protect Mrs. Mallard from seeing him, but the surprise arrives too quickly. The future she had imagined disappears as suddenly as it appeared, creating the story's sharpest reversal. The doctors explain Mrs. Mallard's death as the result of overwhelming joy, but the reader understands that this conclusion misses the deeper truth. The story uses an open window, a closed door, and a single hour to explore freedom, marriage, identity, and the limits of other people's assumptions. Its final irony reminds us that a person's inner life may be very different from the story others tell about them.